What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Fastnigellan bringing you another Company of Heroes 2 replay. I am back from my vacation. Me and my wife just went camping out in Manning Park. For those of you who live in Canada or even British Columbia, you know where that is. And those of you who don't, I would suggest you check it out. It's, check out at least some pictures. It's a pretty cool, cool place. It's classic Canada. Beavers, bears, moose, it's all there. Introducing our players, we have Crazy Hamster as the US forces in the top, and in the bottom here we have Finndeed playing as the Wehrmacht. Taking a look at bulletins that they have employed here. Let's go ahead and follow these guys. So we have Finndeed going for the hit the deck machine gun, gaining 10% more experience. Got some investment into the mines here and the Panzerfaust. Crazy Hamster, on the other hand, going right away for the Rifle Company, greatest company. I'd say the U.S. Forces' greatest doctrine to go. Looking at the bulletins here, got some investment in the rifleman grenades. So a good mixed bag there for the riflemen. As we see grenadiers engaging with some riflemen at the beginning here. Both trying to get behind cover there, but obviously out of each other's range.
Rifle squad ready for action.
And I forgot to mention what map this is. This is Angoville. Probably one of my favorite maps. I don't know if it's one of the... I can't remember if it's one of the newer maps. I'm pretty sure it was created by one of the community members, but I could be wrong. So we see MG42 moving into the building here, forcing a retreat on those riflemen.
Ground down. The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
So we do see a heavy investment into the grenadiers, so no MG42 spamming, but getting one out just for reassurance. Yeah. Rear echelon getting behind some medium cover here. Grenadiers doing the same thing. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee if you would excuse the slurping.
Frag grenades now available for action.
Crazy Hamster getting that grenade. I can't talk today. The grenade research done. Yeah, it's been a week, guys. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. Well, I was already rusty to begin with, so. We see some grenadiers and riflemen exchanging some volleys as they're both garrisoned inside the building. Rear echelon capping from behind.
Target secured. We got a rifle squad waiting for orders. Under fire! We're losing a capture point.
So hope all you guys are well. Excuse me. Hope you had a good week. So riflemen getting outpowered, outgunned here, but still sticking it out behind those barrels in that building. Grenadiers probably going to force a retreat at any point in time here, as we see engagement here in the left-hand side. Two riflemen outnumbering the Grenadier squad, causing a retreat. So great job there by the craziest Hamster. in outnumbering his opponent and capping the points here on the left-hand side. Both the ammo and the fuel point are now his, or very soon to be his, as we see some pioneers here. Finndeed getting that flamethrower upgrade, which is what you want to see. Always great, as we see some Vet 2 riflemen here and some rear echelon building a firing point. Fairly good grenade there, forcing a retreat and getting one of the grenadiers in the process. Rifleman moving on in, while even capping that point, so that's great. Great job here by Crazy Hamster, keeping that distance from the Flame Engineers, making good use of those M1 Garens, which is what I think they have. Yeah, looks like it. Going ahead and capping that right-hand point.
90-day wonders.
3 Grenadier squads looking to move in on that Rifleman.
What the hell am I meant to do?
Doing a good job here, getting some heavy cover inside the building.
Well, White Star parachute flares are being issued to improve reconnaissance. Objective secured. Our fighting position now has some ordnance.
So Finndeed refusing to go for a doctrine right away. He should recognize that Crazy Hamster has got a rifle company. I mean, he does see the rifleman squad here with already a double vet. At this point in the game, he should be able to realize that Crazy Hamster has used a vet special ability.
We're losing a capture point.
MG42 getting that suppression and pin on both the rear echelon and rifleman squad there, forcing retreat. But rifleman squad, another rifleman squad, swinging around the bushes here, getting off a good grenade, and forcing a retreat on those the machine gun squad. Flame Pioneers being extra bold, chasing down the riflemen. Instead, going to get inside the building for some extra cover, but completely surrounded. Crazy Hamster does need to get these riflemen outside of the range, but instead gets a good grenade off. Great micro there by Finndeed, getting out of that building, and then going back inside, forcing a retreat on one of the riflemen. Taking out that deserter there. Pretty sweet. Served him right for deserting on the battlefield. Great rifle grenade, unfortunately not getting a whole lot there, but forcing a maneuver out of the kill zone. As another squad of grenadiers moves on in, looking to reinforce. You can see that 50 cal upgrade on the firing position. Scout car using great use of its range, getting some good rounds down on that firing point. But Crazy Hamster also forcing a retreat and scaring away the Grenadier push. So excellent placement of that firing position. I believe they're in range of this building. Yeah. So that's great. Or maybe they are outside of the range. Yeah. Still very good placement, covering a wide arc here. And this this building here is obviously quite a strong point here for any team that grabs a hold of it. Stewart coming out, forcing a retreat and getting a couple free kills here on the Grenadiers. Vet 2 Rifleman also looking to do some damage here, but getting that extra bonus on the retreat in terms of defense. He is going to escape. Now, I did fail to mention, guys, this is a live game. I'm literally pulling this straight off the live game list.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
And typically these things, they, well, it's a mixed bag of skill. I try and go for the top ranked guys, so it's a little more entertaining for y'all. As the Stewart's going to get a good round off on that scout car, taking it out, so great job there. You see some Panzer Grenadiers here, accompanied with a MG42 in the building, which is going to be forced to retreat, or not. Panzer Grenadiers forced to retreat, as well as the Grenadiers here that were accompanying them. But yeah, since this is a live game, there is the possibility that it might end before the actual game ends.
Area's ours.
So I do apologize for that,
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
if that does happen. Grenadiers here moving up the left-hand side, capping this point. So this is what you like to see. Finndeed identifying that Crazy Hamster's force, or the bulk of his force, is on the right-hand side. So going where the going is easy. Of course, knowing this, Crazy Hamster is going to send over his Stewart. Looking to get that heat-seeking Panzerfaust off, which he does. So great job there.
All done over here. Combat promotion in. We're losing a capture point.
So just gonna fast forward it here.
WPM-110 smoke strike can be delivered to cover.
We see rifleman getting that flamethrower upgrade, which is great. Probably one of the greatest features, or strongest features, of this doctrine.
Enemy infantry. Watch yourself. Don't bunch up.
It's a great use of the MG42 there, backing up his troops, but they are going to get outflanked here very quickly.
Enemy forces have 300 points. A capture point is under attack.
So not entirely sure why Finndeed has neglected to get a
Ready
commander
position machine
doctrine.
gun is in place.
He does need to recognize how far he is behind in terms of the victory points that he has, and the map presence is next to nothing, so he really does need to find that edge.
What the hell have I been
And there he
doing?
goes, he picks a commander. Which one is this? The Close Air Support Doctrine.
Well, grab your shit and follow me.
So I guess I can agree with that. If you get off a good Stuka airstrike, whether it be anti-armor, anti-infantry, if you can get one off that's effective, you can literally change the tide of the battle.
Stick with me and you might just make it.
And you can really catch your opponent off guard if you find a bunch of clumping units and you use it for the first time against them. Man, that would be great. Looks like we have a Jackson coming out. Pretty sure that's a Jackson. And a pack moving up, looking to take out that Sherman, or Stewart, I should say. So great job there by Finndeed, getting off a good shot there.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Major moving around on the field here. Crazy Hamster probably looking to set up a good retreat point. As we see another fighting position built right here. And it looks like it's in the range of the other one.
A capture point is under attack.
So in terms of difficulty or good strategy, this is a wise choice. In real life, the strategy was to always have targets in depth to provide overwatch to the front line. I mean, ever since trench warfare existed, and probably before that, it was a common way to set up defenses. As we see a good rifle grenade here, taking out. I didn't see if any guy died there, but always very effective. As we see a nice grenade there by Finndeed, but forced to retreat nonetheless. Fairly good grenade there, forcing them to maneuver out of their firing point position. Stewart moving in here. Oh, that was a Sherman, sorry. So Sherman out on the field here, looking to do some anti-infantry damage. And he is going to have the upper hand with that, so long as the packs don't maneuver in range. So one of the benefits, of course, of casting these live games is they're not always as long. I know it's not the best or the most convenient thing to watch an hour-long game. And these ones, although they aren't as entertaining to watch in terms of their skill level, for commentary, for the sake of commentary, they are quite convenient since they are considerably less time. And they do highlight some good topics for discussion in terms of things that points to improve upon in terms of gameplay. And for most of us, at least myself, who are subpar at this game, it does a lot to my confidence to see just the mass amounts of failure that happen. Even though all these players are much better than myself, it's always easier to point out the mistakes in hindsight. We do see an Easy 8 here coming out. Oh, they're both Easy 8. See, that was a fail on my part.
We just lost a medium tank.
We do see a good use of the white phosphorus. Not really getting a whole lot done in terms of damage, but disrupting his defensive line, which is usually the best that you're going to do. It's very rare that you catch a guy off guard with the white phosphorus because of the red smoke that appears beforehand. So a good way to utilize those if you want to get some kills is to try and out-micro your opponent by initiating an attack elsewhere and then using it on a different point, hoping to catch your opponent off guard while his attention is focused somewhere else. That way he'll miss the warning sign of the red smoke and fall victim to a glorious use of artillery. As we look at the resources here, we see a fairly good use of, or fairly good management of the resources. We don't see a whole lot of fuel being flooded, and the manpower is at a reasonable level, as we see another white phosphorus there. So fairly good resource management by both sides, and that's always refreshing to see. Although you would like to see a few more grenades or other uses of Crazy Hamster's ammo, as he is floating quite a bit there. But completely understandable.
Continue the push. They have 25 points
Great grenade there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And another short point that I forgot to mention about these live games is most of the games that I've watched are really over by the 15-minute point. In terms of victory points, you can kind of see who's going to win anyway. So a lot of the times you can kind of fast forward through the end point, or the end portion, or the latter half of the game, since the winners are already pretty much decided. So it looks like we are going to get to the end of this one, which is fantastic. It's always nice when they end.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death factory, boys. God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Grenade!
And there you have it, folks. So a couple points here. Both players I thought played pretty well. It was just a case of Finndeed's opening. I believe he should have probably went for the MG42 spam, at least getting more than one out at the beginning. Instead he opted to go for the Grenadiers, which is fine, but you want to make sure you're outnumbering each engagement that you get in, so you're not being overpowered by the great riflemen. Crazy Hamster also making great use of his firing points, as we see here. The one in depth here did some great damage here in the middle, and then building one closer to the front line here was also quite effective. And so Finndeed had the right idea in attacking to the left here, where it was less fortified, but he just simply didn't have enough aggression here to do any sort of damage. And Finndeed being very delayed in getting his commander. I mean, this redistribution resources ability could have helped him in the long run, but because he took so long to select his commander, obviously we see the results. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.